Yo, so welcome to the Raw Deal podcast. It's the podcast, right? This isn't just like a show. Okay. Anyway, so like Raw and SmackDown. Okay,
What
so
the hell?
Garrett, shut up. All right, here we go. So, Raw happened, SmackDown happened. We had a cash in, kind of, on SmackDown. We're gonna spend some time talking about that. Once again, I'm an old man. I've been going to bed at about 9:30 every night. So
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't know. I'm an old man. It is what it is. Really, bro? You're hitting the channel with its own like? Who the hell likes their own videos? That's like liking your status on Facebook.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
that's like having a post that says "Get one like and I'll do this," and then liking it yourself.
Yeah, that's wrong. Anyway, so we are not gonna talk about everything on the shows from now on. We're gonna hit the points.
Hit the meat.
That we're big. There's something that we don't.
you gotta love it.
Like, yo, I really got to talk about when R-Truth came out. I don't know if that's on our list.
Hey man, they might be
not.
R-Truth Elias
So,
fans.
It is not on our list.
The Drifter is the best thing on TV, though. If you say otherwise, you're just a racist.
What the hell?
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah, he's kind of racist. I mean, you know.
So Garrett, real quick, how about your boy Trump? He's been in the news lately.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's my boy anymore. Considering he kind of shifts the blame off of organizations that would like me dead. Yeah.
All right now, what's more likely, Charlie? Civil War II or World War III?
You know what's more likely? The Shield reuniting.
Bringing it back, bringing it around town. All right, so we
Ban now.
Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, they're out. They're trying to be bros. They're doing like the middle school crush thing. Like, I don't know if I want to kiss you first or if you should kiss me first. So they're doing that weird thing, right? So hold on. Let me turn this a little bit, bro. I was going to say if I sit up normal. All right, cool. Organizing this. Charlie and I had Del Taco. Great place. So Dean Ambrose kicks off the show. He's like, Seth Rollins doesn't know what he wants, which is that's kind of what they're going with. So Seth Rollins has been begging Dean Ambrose to have a Shield reunion.
To have a Shield.
Yeah, they want to have a Shield reunion. Rollins did for like about 3 weeks now, and Dean has denied him every time. And then last week, Dean's like, and Seth is like, nah. What I think is funny is that these guys probably travel together. They still haven't talked about it all week. Just waited, but whatever. So Dean decides. So Seth's like, you know what? I've thought about it. You're right. Let's be bros. Dean's like, no, not that easy. So now Dean's going back.
Yeah.
And then Seth's like, you know what? Fine. And then Cesaro comes out, beats up Rollins, starts to beat up Ambrose. Rollins gets back up, attacks him. Rollins and Ambrose have a big comeback, and Rollins is like, yeah. And Dean's like, no. And then Dean's like, yeah. And Seth's like, no. And then at the same time, they're like, boom, it's morphin' time.
What a pop they had, though.
Go Power Rangers.
I'll be real. I was laying down on my couch when the pop happened, when they had their final reunion. And like my elbow was kind of resting on the couch and the remote was right there. As the pop started, I go to sit up. I hit the power button and turn the TV off.
Oh man. Ouch. That's a rough one.
Jeez.
We've all been there, so I didn't get to hear the whole pop.
Fair enough. Hey, it was a big. I gotta say, these past 2 nights, Boston and Providence, they crushed it. The crowd, when the crowd's that into it, it makes you more into the show.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Especially when the crowd's involved. It's like now it used to be like exclusively after like WrestleMania or even SummerSlam a couple of times has been crazy Raws and SmackDowns. Now it just happens on like a weekly basis. If there's a hot enough crowd, you know, who would have thought Providence, Rhode Island would have been a hot crowd?
That's what I was saying. I was like, hey, Providence, it's like one of these little towns in Arkansas that they don't do much.
That's where they were for SmackDown?
Oh wait, it's Providence, Arkansas? I thought it was Rhode Island.
No, I'm giving an example. Like they'll
right.
go to like these little towns in Arkansas or something, and you don't get much. And I was like, Providence, it might not get too much. That crowd was hot from beginning to end. They were hot for 205 Live.
Let's be real. I'm from New England originally. Rhode Island is also in New England. We got a bunch of racists up there. So you come out and you sing the Indian national anthem. That's the response you're gonna get. All right. So yeah, Tony, we will be doing some Big Brother news soon. But welcome to the podcast. Hope you can stick around, even if you don't like wrestling. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you just like hanging with us, right? So
tomorrow night after double eviction, come hang.
Oh God, that'll be interesting. But so we had the reunion. Great pop. These guys have been doing really good work. Definitely down. And really, like you guys are saying, it was just hot crowds throughout, right?
It right from the beginning of the show. When this is your opening segment, and it's this big of a reaction, the rest of the show feels like, holy crap! All right, that first 20 minutes, that was a really good beginning to Raw.
Yep. The real question is, when they come out at SummerSlam, whose music are they coming out to? Or are they just coming out?
Mix them. Do like a Breezango type. Mix Dean. I think you could probably mix Dean and Seth together. It doesn't sound in your head right at first, but I was thinking about it while we were watching the show, and it might work.
Yeah, dude, you might actually be right there.
that would be really. I mean, because both of their music is so different than the Shield music. That's why their intros are both so unique. They're both an instant pop. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah. Mix
those both together. Like Breezango became an instant pop, so I think that can happen too. You know, so I'm excited.
Tyler. Jesus, I kind of missed that, man. The original Tyler, the regular Tyler Breeze theme was awesome.
Oh yeah,
everyone, it's Tyler.
Yeah,
I wish you had us on Snapchat. Me and Charlie in this very room one day got bored last year and and did entrances.
Dean Ambrose.
Anyway, so on Raw, we had a #1 contenders match between Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. It's really weird because I teach a kid whose name is Nia, but she pronounces it Nia, and I keep saying Nia.
True.
But I found the one wrestling fan in the class because I was like, Nia, and I was like, there's a wrestler called Nia Jax. Like, you watch wrestling? I'm like, yep. True. Not about to say, I have a podcast, because then they might.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, hey, as long as we keep the swear words down.
Black says hashtag Jody for BB All Stars. Agreed. So this was the best match on the show, in my opinion. Garrett, how'd you like it?
This is a tag
#1
match.
contenders.
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, like it was. Dude, I thought in the first 10 seconds of the match, I thought like she just injured another person. You know what I mean?
I mean, the real positive thing is Sasha can actually go at SummerSlam.
Right. That was insane. I thought she just killed the woman, and we were gonna have like a new angle. Like they were gonna have to make an angle out of it. All right. Yeah, I know. It was unique. I think this was not the kind of match you'd expect to have between the two of them. It was more like a Baron Corbin type match. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree. And Nia didn't look that slow at all. So, Charlie, this means we're getting Sasha at oh, that's right. We got to do SummerSlam predictions.
Are we going to do that in a separate video again?
Probably.
Yeah.
And with reactions as well.
But Sasha will face Alexa Bliss at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. This is the way that we expected them to go, or at least I know you really did, Charlie, right? So do you think that all's well that ends well with getting Sasha Alexa instead of Bayley Alexa?
I think when it's all said and done, it does. Sasha's a 3-time champion with only 74 days on her title reigns combined. Think about that. Alexa's had it for over 100. So just when you put that side to side, it feels like Sasha's never been champion to me. And real quick, I thought the end of the match was done perfectly with her putting her in the bank statement 3 separate times. She finally gets out of it, and then she hits like this crazy-looking DDT off the rope. Did you see that?
What was that?
Okay, the DDT was sick, and it seemed like Nia, I think she messed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And she was supposed to put her hands down. She went just face first.
Yeah, she took it like a smaller person would. Like a DDT.
That's how you get a legit win over someone who was booked as the monster, like Strowman, Big Show, and Nia Jax in the women's division.
Yeah,
Nia
that was like
that we only have seen Charlotte do, which is a really bad the stretch at the end when she had to tap out to the bank statement. That was really good. I thought Nia was very good in this match.
Yes.
Garrett, do you care about the Cruiserweight Championship match? If not the outcome, is
Jesus.
All right, man. You do you. All right, but Cruiserweight Championship match. Akira Tozawa defeated Neville and became the Cruiserweight Champion. And we're getting the rematch at SummerSlam. It's kind of funny how like this whole thing was like, oh, we're getting the SummerSlam match early. But we're also going to do it at SummerSlam. It's like, okay, well, maybe this is them saying, okay, we'll do some matches now. That way SummerSlam doesn't have to be, 9.5 hours long.
It's true.
But we're getting rematches of all the we're getting the SummerSlam matches anyway. So, we'll get into our predictions in a later episode, but doesn't this kind of spoil SummerSlam a little bit? Because there's no way they're going to take it off of Tozawa already unless they really just didn't want Neville to have this title reign that can never be beat. What do you think, Garrett?
Yeah, I don't know, because Neville was like the anchor, and now they've got enough faith in Tozawa from the fans. Man, every time he hits that senton, I'm just like, man, he just killed somebody, because it's brutal the way he just falls. Like some people will like lean back a little bit in a senton so that they're not falling as hard. It's like almost like
right, and they're letting part of their body hit the mat to take off some of the weight.
He just hits you with his whole body. Sometimes he just lets his head land on you. You know what I mean?
Which is why Big Show needs that finisher.
Imagine.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta say that it was one of the biggest crowd reactions I've ever seen for cruiserweights on Raw. They usually don't get that big of a reaction, but when he won the belt and Titus and Apollo were out there and they were holding them up, the crowd was going nuts.
I love his music too. It just went so well with the moment,
Yeah, that's true. The one thing is though with the cruiserweights, people don't pop for entrances or anything. They pop for like 2 seconds for high spots, and then they go back to being dead. And then they pop for 5 seconds when someone wins the championship, and then they're dead by the time the champ even gets. By the time Tozawa was up the ramp, it's like they didn't care anymore.
Sitting on their hands.
It's weird. It's like I don't know. They're either like super into it or absolutely nothing. I don't.
Yeah, because they're putting on good enough matches now that they get the reactions from the crowd. They know they're good wrestlers. They just don't. There's no real. The only story we've had is that there's this king of the cruiserweights and he's unbeatable, and so when your only story is everyone just wants a shot at Neville, it doesn't really interest people, If it was just everyone, it only works for like a major heavyweight title because that's sort of the thing with Brock is everyone gets a shot at Brock, but
Oh, agreed. So
Lesnar.
Just a reminder, we are doing the wrestling show right now, and I appreciate everyone who wants to talk Big Brother. The place to talk Big Brother, most of the time, hit us up on Twitter. Like, I know Charlie and I both have the Twitter link to our phones. Like, I try to check it unless it's in the middle of the day and I'm teaching, obviously. But I will talk Big Brother live feeds with you guys like 24/7, and obviously we do plenty of live shows on here as well, right?
Yeah. Tony, DPX, Melissa, we'll all be here tomorrow night, right after that double eviction, and
yep,
we're gonna want your opinions on it because that's the craziest night of the whole show usually.
The most interactive Big Brother podcast on the web.
Fact.
That is a fact of life.
But yeah, right after that double eviction, if you guys remember, just come right to us and we'll
make sure you hit the bell. That way because tomorrow
boom,
Visokii Gaming.
I'm always in there with the solid wrestling references.
Exactly. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt happened when we saw this match was announced. We all knew it was going to happen.
Yep.
Bray Wyatt was going to win, forcing Finn Balor to bring out the demon for SummerSlam. Bray Wyatt dumped Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt dumped some sticky Kool-Aid.
Some acidic liquid.
I kept imagining someone just turns it on then, and they would be like, "What the hell is happening? Is he okay? Can someone help him?" He just turn it to him, and he's just covered in blood.
Whoa, bro! They never said blood.
It's acidic liquid.
Exactly. He was
It's
covered
acidic liquid.
in liquid.
I just imagine flipping through. You're like, oh, Raw. I haven't seen that in a couple of years. You click it and you see that. What would someone think?
That's better than the Bailey This Is Your Life segment.
Oh my god.
That is absolutely true. It is better than that, especially because it featured my boy. You know,
Yeah, people probably brought it in. They're like, wow, Ric Flair. You know, he you know, went down in age. Actually, quick shout out: Ric Flair is recovering. From
actually, I've seen something earlier. He's still in critical condition.
Well, they always list you critical condition. Once you're in critical condition, until you're 100% stable, they still list you as critical. So,
oh, okay.
He's
I didn't
recovering. Yeah.
Side fact.
Since he went into a coma for like he was only in it for like a couple hours, but still, when you go into a coma, you're automatically critical condition. They can't update it until you're completely stable. So he is recovering. Good news. It's gonna be weird. I think we don't want to talk, bad about it. We don't, but outside Vince McMahon, if Ric Flair were to pass, that would be the most devastating loss in wrestling today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless someone like John Cena were to die randomly, you know what I mean? But like,
when it comes,
you
to
said it, not me.
When it comes to the history of wrestling, it's like
Ric Flair's been around since the 70s, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah,
he's a beast.
Smoking.
And he's been in a force in wrestling since the 80s to now. You know what I mean? Like he's been everywhere, every title.
So Melissa's asking, he fall on the Kool-Aid. So Bray Wyatt, one of the wrestlers, defeated another guy, Finn Balor. They have a match this upcoming Sunday on the pay-per-view. And Bray Wyatt, then after the match, got a bucket of acidic liquid that was red and dumped it all over Finn Balor's body. So
yeah, it looked like he was covered in blood, pretty much.
Yeah, it was pretty. Wasn't blood, acidic liquid, bro.
Acidic liquid.
Chill. We're not talking about blood on this show, bro. So we had the Hardys versus the Hardys and Jason Jordan versus the Miz Taraj. It was a match.
It was a match.
Jason Jordan got the pin. Originally, Kurt Angle said, well, Jason Jordan is going to get he's going to get his match against Curtis Axel, which was supposed to happen last week, but Brock Lesnar kind of killed him.
Yeah.
Curtis Axel, that is. So now it's like, he was like, all right, so we're going to get the match finally this week. And Miz is like, no, you're not, because I'm facing Jason Jordan. And Kurt's like, great, Jason will love that. and so the match is set up, and then I don't even remember how it happens.
More or less,
they went to just beat up Jason Jordan, right?
Yeah, what do you think of the Hardys really coming out to assist him? I'll admit, before I had put this there, I didn't know they had a pre-segment before this. I thought it was at random, and they just came out.
Okay, the pre-segment was weird. Okay,
yeah.
So a lot of things happened in one backstage segment. So we were backstage, and Kurt Angle is talking to the Hardy Boys, and he's like, well, your opponents are now injured for SummerSlam, so obviously you're not going to be on SummerSlam, but I'm going to try to find something for you to do. And then all of a sudden, The Miz comes running in, and he's talking about how he wants to fight Jason Jordan. And then in the middle of talking about Miz and Jason Jordan, referees come running out of the other side, and he's like, something's going on with Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. So there was like three things oddly set up all at once. It was kind of cool, though. So Jason Jordan gets the pin on, I think, Bo Dallas. And
something like that, yeah.
And it was a match.
The opening to that segment was so weird because Kurt Angle was just staring at the screen super like creepily after the Shield reunion, just like, oh my god, it was like whatever. It was weird, but the match. I don't even really remember this match. I remember it was like what was it even? What even happened in this match?
Nothing more or less. I think it's setting up maybe a tag team for Sunday. They might do a pre-show match or something. Who knows?
Right. It just didn't. I don't remember anything. Any specific.
They might
spots.
just run it back because none of these guys have a scheduled match for SummerSlam right now.
Yep.
Right. No, I just didn't know. This match was like really slow and just not really. There wasn't anything to it. It was just they needed something for these guys to do on this show and SummerSlam, so they just did this.
Yep. And then finally, I kind of hated this. They pumped up all night that all four of the contenders for the championship match on SummerSlam are going to be in the ring at the same time. And I'm waiting for it. I'm looking at the clock, and usually Raw ends about 5 to 10 minutes after the hour. So I look, and we're like 4 minutes after the hour, and Paul Heyman is still talking in the ring, just pumping up the match, saying all the same stuff that we've already heard.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, who comes out first? Braun comes out first.
Yeah.
And
all I know is Roman's last.
Confronts Lesnar, and then Samoa Joe comes out, and he's like blah 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 blah. And because Strowman was bragging about beating Roman Reigns in a last man standing match last week, and then Samoa Joe comes out, says, "Well, it's because of me that you won." And then Roman Reigns comes out to a flurry of boos, and they're all in the ring at the same time for like 2 seconds, and then they do this standard like brawl thing, and Strowman and Lesnar start going after each other, and Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns start going after each other. They're all split up, and we go off air. It was nothing special, considering I think like going into every commercial break, they're like, remember, coming up later, all 4 of them going to be in the ring at the same time. Why pump it up that much if it's going to be that insignificant, right, Charlie?
Yeah, very, very disappointing in the delivery of it. Raw has done this thing. They've kind of each brand's kind of had their own things. Raw has this thing where they bring the superstars on for a live interview, and they're like on different webcams almost. I wish they'd done that with this, because the last one they did with Lesnar and Joe was so good, and it works. It honestly works good, because you can see the reactions like, this guy's serious right now? Is he really saying this? This mother, it works. I don't know. When he got it laced with security guards and nothing even happens to him, it's pretty disappointing.
Garrett?
I'm pretty sure Dolph Ziggler was one of the security guards. If you go back to the footage, I think there's a clip of it. I'm pretty sure. I'm not even kidding. But first of all, side note, where has Dolph Ziggler been? And just
attacking Breezango.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, it could be.
True. So Garrett, Melissa asks, since I'm new to this, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite right now, Garrett? Name your favorite superstar on Raw and SmackDown. Give me 2.
Okay, so on Raw right now is probably can a tag team be considered just single superstar?
Yeah, tag can be your favorite.
Okay, so I'm really digging the Shield reunion. So that's probably where the top of Raw is right now for me. And then
Which would be Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, sorry, I should have said that. And then on SmackDown, it's my boy AJ Styles as always.
True.
Charlie?
I'd say on Raw, I've been really enjoying Samoa Joe ever since the Lesnar feud. I've been getting behind everything he says. And SmackDown,
Randy Orton.
God no. I'd say Chad Gable. I've really been enjoying Chad
Luke
Gable.
Harper.
Ever since between the two, they want Jason Jordan to be the bigger star right now. But I've loved Chad Gable's work. He's a former Olympic wrestler, and you can just tell from that he's pretty good. What about you, Brady?
Agreed. Who did you say for SmackDown, Garrett?
I said AJ Styles.
Oh, so we literally have 6 different people. So on SmackDown, I would have to say Breezango, who's been putting finishing peak stuff. It's too funny. And on Raw, the only one to mention a woman, I love Alexa Bliss. I love everything she does.
Yep. All right. None of us said gender. All right, cool.
Dude, come on. Jinder and Orton aren't your top 2. Honestly, bro, I'd rank like Ty Dillinger.
There's someone whose favorites are Elias Sampson and Aiden English. They love the singers.
Lines. What do you got against singers, bro? Do I need to roll back the footage? Huh?
We're posting it on Twitter tonight. Greatest segment in the history of the Big Brother podcast.
Olaf enjoyed it. All right, so if you haven't watched it, go back. Was it yesterday? It was last night.
19-minute mark.
Go watch 19-minute mark. Great. So, that was it for Raw. What do you got for a Raw grade, Garrett?
I got a solid B. It's a good show.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, B. What do you got?
Let's be real. We only touched on the good stuff.
It does, but there was a good amount of good stuff.
Actually, I'll tell you right now, I stayed up for the entire show, and someone that's been going to bed every night. So, Melissa says I did. Olaf has great taste. He does. Where is he? And go get Olaf, bro. Let's have him in the podcast. So, so I'll give Raw I mean, like I said, I stayed up for the whole thing. I guess I'll give that like a B+. So, everybody, welcome Olaf to the podcast.
If you don't choke slam that by the end of the podcast, it's just gonna be a disappointment.
What did you do? What did you do?
I'm not choke slamming Olaf. He listened to me sing when Charlie wouldn't. So
well, then Charlie needs to choke slam Olaf.
You know, maybe I should choke slam Charlie.
All right, do it.
All right, so
do it.
Smackdown happened. Okay, this was super awkward. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent. So, Melissa, you'll find this interesting. So, Jinder Mahal, who we consider a heel or a bad guy, he the only reason he's considered a heel, maybe he has like a couple minions that kind of help him out, so maybe that's why people hate him. They're better minions than Paul's minions, though. I will tell you that.
Fact.
He comes out because yesterday, Tuesday, was India's Independence Day. So he came out and he's like, I want to celebrate Independence Day. There was nothing heelish about it. He just kind of came out and he had Indian dancers and they came out and it was this grand thing and they had a carpet and it was fantastic. And then a woman came out and sang the Indian national anthem. And she is getting absolutely
booed out of the building.
I was laughing, man. That was good stuff.
This is too far, man.
Maybe this is why Charlottesville happened.
I mean, the thing is, if he said the stuff like Rusev says about America, it would make more sense, but he really doesn't.
Yeah, Rusev gets less heat than this.
And Rusev just, you filthy American pigs. You know?
But that's because everyone doesn't buy, like, I guess because Jinder's promos are very different from Rusev's in the way that
we've been conditioned to hate everything that's not American unless they tell us otherwise. Nakamura has to come out and he has to say, you're defending this title in America. The dude can't even speak English. And he's talking about how great America is. He's been here for like 6 months. Well, on the main roster, but you know what I mean? It's quite odd. I don't know, man. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth when it's like, okay, like if someone were to sing the Canadian national anthem, is that okay because Canada's close? If someone sings the Wales national anthem, is that okay? You know, if Neville had someone come out or Sami Zayn or like anything, no. But because, well, you know, India's close to the Middle East, so they must all be terrorists. That's the way Vince McMahon thinks. Let's be real. Is that not how Vince McMahon thinks?
I mean, he does come out with the turban on. That might be a choice by him, to be fair. It's his wardrobe, but...
In his face, he wouldn't get booed. It's only because he's a heel. He's just... honestly, I think that did more than it could with how much heat he got.
And he just cuts the, all you people.
Yeah, that might be partly why, because he is kind of racist himself. You know, that's kind of his character. He's the racist foreigner.
See, Melissa dislikes Vince. He's a good creative mind, but the dude is living in the 80s.
Man, Road Dogg and SmackDown's creative.
What happens?
They just need to. I mean, okay, so like, if I know Triple H only has an hour that he has to produce a week, right? But if we get, let's say, 4 hours a month, okay, 4 hours a month. But if you give Triple H one or two Raws to be creative guy, do you think he could turn some of this stuff around?
Sure. He would at least have a progressive outlook on it. Like, you know, there's a line. See, I think I get the sense Vince McMahon is one of those people where he's like, he doesn't need it. He's one of those guys that's like, everything has to be politically correct. Like, I hate people that are just politically correct. But there is a total... Being politically correct and being a good person are not one in the same. You can be a good person while still not feeling like you have to be PC with everything. That's what I hate. Melissa says, I grew up in the 80s. I miss some of the guys from then, except Vince. He seems to live forever. That's true.
Is there anyone from the 80s still wrestling? Was Undertaker in the 80s?
Vader still does some magic.
No, Undertaker debuted in 97, I think.
Yeah. Taker was... You got to think, bro, the 80s, we're almost in the
We're almost to
2020s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're almost to the point where those guys are all either going to be retired or done. I guess I'm trying to think. Was Regal in WCW in the 80s?
No.
And he doesn't wrestle anyway. He's just
This is pre like Ultimate Warrior wasn't even
Yeah, I know.
like 90. So
Yeah. It's pre-Hulk and everything.
Ric Flair started his career in like 76.
Yeah.
So
I don't know where that was, AWA or NWA or where, but that was somewhere in
they
there.
got Arn Anderson on TV.
It's true.
He killed Tully, bastard. Called himself.
He
the
did
Arn.
kill Tully. He did kill Tully, though. He did. He didn't lie. He did. He killed Tully.
Yep. All right.
Tully
So
Blanchard. It happened. That was a hyped match, dude.
AJ Styles comes out to apologize to Shane McMahon for kicking him in the head last week. And Kevin Owens is like, no, you don't. You're not kissing ass.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. You meant to do it. And Shane's like, look, I don't care who punches me in the face. But he didn't say it explicitly. He said it really weird. He was like, you know, if you touch me, I'm going to have to touch you. It's like, what? It's a little weird. Who knows, man? But
Why is it weird?
so pretty much all this was just set up. Shane McMahon, he's like, you know, I'm going to call it right down the middle, but if one of you guys crosses me, then I won't hesitate to throw a punch back. And the segment ends with Kevin Owens going to super kick AJ Styles, ducks out of the way. Shane McMahon gets kicked in the head. Kevin Owens is like, oh no, what have I done? And
Oh no, how dare I? No, like dude, it was so funny because for a moment in my head, I have a dirty mind, and as soon as Shane McMahon was like, "And I want to, if you put your hands on me, I'm gonna put my hands all over you, AJ." I was just like, "Oh man, I wish I wasn't so tainted."
I thought it was a nice, simple little thing that really helped progress the storyline of Shane being the guest referee. Something they introduced last week, and it just really helped it, I thought.
yeah, at least Shane being the special guest referee means something. We've had so many special guest referee matches before where like
Triple H has been in all of them pretty much.
like yeah, the whole reason they were in there is because the match was just boring. They tried. What was the match with Stone Cold as a special guest referee on Mania? The only reason they put him in there was because like no one cared about the match, so they threw him in there.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I think it might have had Triple H in it. I have no idea. No idea.
Yeah, so it's the only reason they did that. But
There was like the time that Mike Tyson was a special guest referee at a big main event once
yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Oh, one thing I wanted to talk about real quick. Going back to Raw, we had an Enzo and Cass segment, which people tend to like. I gave myself a note on the way to school this morning. Literally the only note that I gave myself to talk about on the podcast. I think this will be a little bit of a spoiler for our prediction show. I think Big Show will turn on Enzo and team up with Cass.
Ooh.
And on Raw the next night you're gonna hear, well, it's the Big Bros.
You can't have the big bros and the hype bros though.
That dude, Big Bros all day.
Big bros versus hype bros at SummerSlam.
Melissa asked, when's the next show? I must watch now. And what channel? It's on the USA Network, and it's Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Or if you search Twitter and ask someone for their WWE.com login, you could watch the we have a really big pay-per-view. Actually, free trial. WWE Network always does free trials for 30 days. Just make sure that you cancel it after SummerSlam. But go sign up right now, WWE.com. Click on the network, sign up for your free trial, and watch. We have two pay-per-views, actually. Saturday night and Sunday night. We have NXT, which is like the developmental league. But that's going to be a better pay-per-view than SummerSlam. That's the one you really want to watch. And then SummerSlam on Sunday night.
And SummerSlam's the second biggest show of the year. So
it'd probably be a good one to watch if you're trying to get into it. So, and then just tweet at me during the show. Be like, yo, I really like this person. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Did she put up a fight? What's the movie, bro?
Dude, I know this.
I don't know.
What?
You've never
It's
seen
Grease.
No, I haven't actually. I have not a lot.
Dude. Nope. We're both
You're trapped. You're screwed. You can't go anywhere. You're screwed.
Who hasn't seen Grease? Can I untuck my shirt? All right. Oh, dude. Feels amazing.
It's like taking the shoes off after a long day.
Dude, that
Slam him
actually
off.
felt pretty good, man. All right. So,
Did you choke slam him?
no.
Do it.
Dude, he's content.
Dude, Olaf didn't do anything.
Look at him, bro. He's chilling. Let him be.
If I was there, I would choke slam it.
Hey, man.
He looks like one of our friends after too many dabs. All right, so okay. I went to bed before the next part. So Fashion Peaks, tell me about it, Charlie. I heard there was a cake with hair in it.
Oh, man. Dude,
It was pie.
they have
Pie.
so many one-liners every single time that just you pop for it.
Melissa, this is a good thing if you're getting into wrestling. Go on the WWE YouTube page and start clicking some things. Anytime you see Breezango or Fashion Peaks or Fashion Files, watch it.
They're
It's too
3-minute comedy skits that are
It's-
the best thing.
It's too good.
And so you got the Ascension, who are just the goofiest dudes.
The Ascension are devil worshippers.
Oh, God.
That's their shtick. They're devil worshippers, but Victor, he gave a good one-liner. What was it about?
They had I'm trying to think now. They had the pie. There's hair in it. They're like, we don't want this pie.
Oh, Victor's afraid of gluten.
Oh, yeah. Or gluten-free. And he's holding the back. Gluten-free.
I love a gluten-free lifestyle.
Oh, man, that didn't mean it.
Gluten-free devil worshippers.
Dude, this has not only given Breezango massive characters, they've made people care about the Ascension more than they have in 3 years on the main roster. Is that incorrect?
That's
Hell no.
yeah, dude. Because the Ascension were so popular in NXT, and then they came up and they were just nothing because they didn't do anything with them. And then there's just been nothing for all this time. We've just been like, oh yeah, it's the Ascension. They're pretty good, you
What
know.
show was it in English on Raw or SmackDown?
SmackDown.
Dude, what if Aiden English started training the Ascension to sing? What if he
Oh
picked them
my
up
God.
and we had backstage segments with Aiden English teaching the Ascension to sing?
La la la. La la la.
They start going into like screamo.
No, they start moshing. Dude.
When he starts to
That'd be
sing.
good, guys.
That
Someone
would
tweet
just be-
Road Dog. God.
So tweet Road Dogg and be like, can we just have one vignette? Just one backstage segment with Aiden English teaching the Ascension to sing.
So,
Have him sit at a piano, play it terribly.
do we have an idea who's attacking them? And still any guesses? Or does everyone still kind of think it's Harper and Rowan?
No, it's Arn, dude.
It's
He killed
earned.
Tully. He's the horse. He was the horse of the Four Horsemen. I don't know.
The workhorse. That's
Yeah.
what he said. I'm always the workhorse of the Horsemen.
Do you hope it's? Am I the only one that doesn't want it to be Rowan and Harper? I don't want them reunited at all.
No.
Considering, I'm almost thinking it's a guarantee that Authors of Pain is going to retain on their pay-per-view, and so Sanity would lose. If Sanity loses, is there a chance that that's their call-up?
I hope so. That'd be actually kind of cool.
That'd be huge. Getting Cross, the tag team, and Young. Killian Dane could be a world champ. Like, I don't know.
Not with Vince McMahon running the company.
Well, he likes the
I'm
big
sorry.
men, doesn't he?
I'm sorry. Kevin Owens is one type of chubby, and Killian Dane is a different kind
No,
of
no.
chubby.
Look, remember WrestleMania? They booked him so strong. He was beating all the guys already.
Yeah, there's a difference between booking him strong in a battle royal that means nothing and putting the belt on him.
They did have Mojo in that thing. We still haven't seen a Hype Bros, the Colognes, Ronan Harper, Dolph Ziggler. We haven't seen so many people on TV in a long time.
What if it's Dolph Ziggler and the Colognes?
If it's Dolph Ziggler, it's got to be with someone new.
Only if they come back labeled as the Colons.
What if it's Dolph Ziggler and Adam Cole or something? Something stupid.
I'm telling you, Adam Cole would knock it over in any capacity.
Yeah, we'll
WWE
see what happens Saturday. That's going to be his debut.
My money is still on Harper and Rowan because there's no way they're just taking Harper off TV for no reason. He's good.
That sucks. I just don't want it to. I just don't like Rowan. We're talking about who's our least favorite on the roster. Eric Rowan is mine on both, so there's nothing I like about him. And I feel like that. And Harper has so much potential.
Yeah. But who knows? It could go a lot of different ways. So right now, who's your money on? I say Harper and Rowan. Charlie?
I want to say it's like TM61 still.
Garrett?
Yeah, it has to be Harper and Rowan. It doesn't make sense any other way with any of the antics.
Well,
with
the black hair he pulled out too. Not that it means a lot of people have black hair, but he pulled out a black hair out of the pie.
Oh, okay. They're trying whatever.
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna look way into it. So, Randy Orton, even though he lost his match to Shinsuke Nakamura for the #1 contender spot, he still gets the first crack at Jinder Mahal because he's John Cena, and so he has a match against Jinder Mahal. It was not very long until Cena hits a super AA off the top rope. He's about to pin Jinder. Baron Corbin's music hits. John Cena gets distracted. Corbin's like, "Nah, I'm not cashing in." Goes to turn around. Yeah, we're in the same room. So also, well, sorry, terrible eyesight. Welcome, Sunnier. Or if you prefer land. So anyway, Cena gets distracted when Corbin comes out. Corbin's like, "I'm gonna cash in." Nah, just kidding, I'm not. And so he turns around, and then he's like, "Oh shit, Jinder just took a super AA. I'd be an idiot to not cash in." Runs down, decks Cena. Charlie, you want to leave the room while you don't want to relive it. So all right, so Baron Corbin slides into the ring, gives the ref the briefcase, and we do know that after the first 2 cash-ins, there is a rule where the champion has to be on their feet before the match is started. So the ref has to wait till the champion's on his feet to start the match. And then Baron Corbin turns around and hits John Cena, who's coming back up on the ropes. Jinder Mahal rolls him up for the schoolboy pin, gets the 1, 2, 3, and the Money in the Bank briefcase is gone. Charlie, you were in a wrestling mood, and you said it completely killed it.
It checked me out of it completely, and here's why. When Daniel Bryan cashed it in on Big Show was laying on the dirt. And if you don't know, Money in the Bank is something we only get once a year, and now SmackDown is only going to get it every 2 years because they're switching brands, right? It's going to go to Raw next year and so on and so forth. This was their most stacked Money in the Bank, like, almost ever when it comes to one brand especially. The only guy that was in it that couldn't really win is Ziggler, and Ziggler's still not a bad talent. And you give it to Baron Corbin by a stretch when Sami Zayn could have won this. Styles could have won this. Nakamura. All these big stars could have won this thing. And he cashes it in on Jinder, who just lost to John Cena and who's going to lose on Sunday. He cashes it in, waits like 30 seconds, and then he just gets rolled up.
Does this mean Nakamura is going to win the belt then?
Oh, absolutely. He has to. They're not that dumb. They have. My honest guess is this. It's a little preview to SummerSlam, but they wanted them both to cash in, and they didn't know what to do. So they didn't want Nakamura to win and Corbin cash in right away. They're like, all right, maybe we won't do that. But no matter what, I think Natalia's winning and Carmella's cashing in, and that's been their plan. And they're like, well, do we do the same thing twice? I think they panicked, and Baron Corbin sent some backstage heat rumors. Who knows? But it's a shitty situation because now it really feels like it's been 2 years since Money in the Bank, and we don't have another one for 10 months. So, Garrett?
Yeah, I mean, this was the stupidest decision they could have possibly made. Like they could have done anything but this. They could have given him the belt and had it be Corbin v. Nakamura which is a feud that happened, so that could happen. And I would be like, yeah, okay, whatever. That's the SummerSlam match now, right?
Yeah.
But now the briefcase is gone. Baron Corbin's momentum is just going to be destroyed.
He's done.
Which, by the way, he's been building since he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He's had a tidal wave of momentum ever since then. And he's been doing good stuff. He's been winning feuds here and there, taking the occasional loss because everybody has to. But he's been overall undamaged to this point. This just completely destroys him.
All right. I'm going to shed a differing opinion on this. So, when they put the belt on Jinder Mahal, it was completely out of the blue. Randomly won a #1 contender match. And they hot-shotted the title onto Jinder Mahal, hoping that this experiment would pan out. It is not. People are not that excited about Jinder Mahal, one way or the other. Most of the boos that he's getting are just because people just don't care for his in-ring work or his mic work or anything. The way the Money in the Bank works, it's supposed to be completely random. The Money in the Bank isn't given to the guy that is seen as a number one contender because he could theoretically have a title shot. He could just be number one contender. You're never going to take Baron Corbin while he has the briefcase and give him a title match. He was never going to get that. So the only way that Baron Corbin could become champion is by cashing in randomly and winning it out of the blue, but then he would have zero credibility because chances are if he would have cashed in on Sunday, he would have lost to Cena early in the night. He already lost at the last pay-per-view. He's been losing. You say he has a lot of momentum, but he has been getting really stale over the past couple months. Corbin needs a little bit of a revamp, in my opinion. So Corbin would have – what is this? Oh. Just reported by Bleacher Report, Brie Bella knows for a fact her husband Daniel Bryan will find a way to wrestle again. Interesting.
A little bit of breaking news.
We'll talk about that maybe next week. Put it on the list. So Baron Corbin would have had the title put on him. Probably Nakamura would have won, and then Corbin would have taken the title off of him right away. People would, think that Baron Corbin was not fit to be champion, so they would already hate him for all the wrong reasons, not the reasons you really want people to boo. You want him to boo. You want the people to boo him because he's a good heel. Number two, people would be booing him because they wanted the title on Nakamura.
Yep.
So people would have just been they would have been pissed off until Nakamura had the title. So people would have been angry with him for all the wrong reasons. This way, now that the briefcase is gone, now Corbin can slowly become his own number one contender. They can make a story out of it of, oh, people assume now that he cashed in and didn't, now that he failed it, he's a failure, and that's going to be it, and that Baron Corbin is dead. But when he beats John Cena clean at SummerSlam, he automatically becomes a contender for the title anyway. And now that he doesn't have the briefcase, there is a reason for them to put him in a championship match against a Nakamura, a Styles, whoever ends up taking that title off of Jinder eventually, and he becomes a credible champion. That way you don't have to run the risk of people being pissed off because he's not worthy when he wins the championship.
Hey, good points. I wish they would have held on to it. It's like they did with Rollins. He held on to it for, 9 months? Something like that? 10 months?
But once again, the way they do it with the Money in the Bank, he's not going to win feuds, and then cash in. He's going to lose, and then cash in when you least expect it.
Yeah.
So
I just hope Carmella doesn't cash in now, right? Because then at least we still got hers. It makes hers maybe feel a little more important now, though.
Yeah.
What's your take, Garrett?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he deserved a championship opportunity, and I don't like the use of a pay-per-view like Money in the Bank as just a tool to give somebody a little bit of pop for winning the thing, because that's all that really happened here was he got the initial momentum from winning the briefcase because everyone's like, oh my gosh, what's Baron Corbin going to do with the briefcase? And now that's gone. I mean, not that Baron Corbin's going to be done after this. I mean, I agree that he's probably going to use a revamp, but I don't know what he needs to do because now he doesn't have a tool that can just make him different. He doesn't have the tool of the Money in the Bank, and now that's a writing tool they just threw out the window because they wanted to have a pop on a Providence, Rhode Island show,
But now it's a little bit of an underdog story for people to get behind.
But he's not a babyface.
The IWC community, which it doesn't matter if you're a babyface or a heel, people are going to say, oh, well, the company just hated Baron. He obviously has some heat backstage. People in the company obviously don't like Baron Corbin. And whoever the company doesn't like, the internet is usually going to like. So all of a sudden, if the Smarks get behind Baron Corbin, now he's got some momentum going. And people could say, good for him for really turn himself around. And even though this is all planned by WWE, people are going to see it as people trying to screw Baron Corbin out of his opportunity, and then him on his own making his own opportunities again, rising from the ashes.
Good points.
But either way, what's your grade on SmackDown, Charlie?
It was not the best one they've had. I'll say C. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't my favorite SmackDown ever. I enjoyed Raw more.
Garrett?
Man, this is hard. What did Charlie give it?
C.
Yeah, I'll give it a C as well. I don't think it was. I think there were some down spots.
C's average, you know. I didn't think it was excellent.
I mean, we made an effort to only put the important stuff on this week's show, and all we had was Jinder Mahal kicks off SmackDown, Styles' apology turns to threats, Fashion Peaks, and Jinder Mahal versus John Cena. So we had 2 Jinder Mahal segments, a promo segment that was pretty predictable, and Fashion Peaks. The only standout things were the Breezango segment and the last segment of the night. So I'll give it a – and I said I didn't even care enough to watch the Fashion Peaks live. I watched it on YouTube after. So it's
right.
like,
I messaged you. I was like, are you watching this?
Yeah, Charlie's like, dude, did that just happen? I was like, I don't know. I'm in bed. So I don't know. I fell asleep. I'll give it a C-. Thought it was all right. It's a go-home show. Not too much expecting. So are you going to be transitioning to Big Brother after this or not? Well, the episode like just came on. So I'm going to drive home. And probably listen to it along in the car.
Yeah,
and Charlie's gonna watch it here.
We did the live one yesterday, and there's nothing that's happened today that would be worth going on.
There's nothing they're gonna put on the episode that's worth talking. So if you want to watch our live feed discussion, that will from yesterday. That's most of the stuff. So I mean, trust me, I love doing the Big Brother podcast. But if there's nothing big that happens, then
we just kind of sit there for 10 minutes.
What are we really gonna talk about? You guys can listen to me sing more. But
tomorrow night, though.
But anyway, tomorrow night, double eviction for Big Brother. Keep an eye out for our predictions for NXT Takeover Brooklyn, which is always the best one, and WWE SummerSlam. We'll give our predictions. I think I'm going to be differing from a lot based on what I've heard tonight. I think I'm going to be a lot different than Charlie and Garrett on this one. So,
Usos and New Day officially are on the pre-show.
The tag team title matches.
Same with the Cruiserweight title match on the pre-show.
Well, the Cruiserweight title shot.
Matches like Rusev versus Randy Orton. So
I think the Cruiserweight title match has been on the pre-show since
once again, I agree with it. More people probably watch the pre-show than watch the actual show because it's actually shown free to everyone. So
that is true.
It's good to get the Cruiserweights on there. In some cases, it's really good to be on the pre-show. Gets more eyes on it. So anyway, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Click the bell so you know when we go live. Ding! And we'll catch you guys soon. Peace.